know my origin story. I had a feel of it before it was told to me. When my mother conceived me, she and my father were living in Oslo. Strange, sleepy place for two assassins. Nothing much happens above ground. But there is an underground, and legends of the forest, and higher up, in the air, more legends still. My father hated the cultural emphasis on everyone fitting in for the so-called collective good, and reckoned the place suffered for the modern lack of regard for those legends. And so, my parents created a nest of their own ideals. What do you call a bat house? They lived not far from a body of water, which they privately called Asa Bay. My mother would go swimming every morning before doing anything else. There were seagulls and sea-found swans with curious black heads. It was quiet, serene. And my parents remained committed to each other and in love, and committed to work that was not quiet or serene. When my mother became pregnant, something changed. She found it harder to keep everything straight. My father said he'd always known she had a tendency toward this kind of messiness. Some mistakenly call it darkness. It's never the evil kind, but the sort that doesn't let you see. Interior fog. You fumble in the dark. Everything with my mother was intense, lived, and intentional. When she met my father, it was love at first sight. Everything in one moment. It's a strange myth that it takes time to know someone. You can both assume the worst of intentions at the outset and know the sole wager. The lack of days is a metric of your risk tolerance. I would learn later that love at first sight does take time. Its veracity not always revealed in a linear model. My mother's life found immediate meaning in my father. Suddenly, she didn't want to run headfirst into fire. She had been good at her work because, as she'd pass on to me, she was unafraid of death. Truly unafraid. Meeting my father made her suddenly vulnerable. Having a reason to want a future was something new. Living was easy, how she had known it to be. Being pregnant gave her exponentially more reason to fight for her days, and this was terrifying. She became withdrawn, my father said, not only from people, as she'd always been, a beautiful hermit, waiting to venture out only for work or when he was close, but also from her brave, crazy worldview. She no longer even wanted to go with him anywhere, at any time, to watch. I guess a part of him was inside her anyway. My mother became what some would call depressed. As her belly grew, it only got worse. One day, when my father went out to buy groceries, she tied stones to her legs and walked down to the water's edge. There was no one else in sight. She waded off the mossy shore and let go.